Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. In today's video we are going to be doing my own nails using the BTArtbox Box French nail tips. So these are gel tips that you apply with gel as well, and they are great for a quick and easy DIY manicure. Now let's not talk about the state of my natural nails. I have not done them in a couple of weeks. I shut 2 fingers, or I think it was 3 fingers actually, in a door, and it really damaged my pointer and middle finger, and I kind of have just left them alone. It did cause a little bit of nail separation, luckily only at the tips of the nail, so I just have kind of left them, not really done anything to them, but I really wanted some nails on, and when I want a quick and easy set, the BTArtbox Box tips are my go-to. So I had done all of my prep off camera, and you see there I did come in and apply the BTArtbox Box primer. Although these tips do say they don't actually need a primer, I had this in my collection, so I thought I would add it in today. Now as you can see, you get quite a lot of tips in these tip packs, so it's great if you are wanting to do your nails several times. You're going to be able to do them a good few times, and as you can see you get a good size range as well. So they are on this little tab and you are able to size them up without pulling the nails off the tab, which I find brilliant as well, because it means you've not got loads of loose nail tips lying around, or you don't need a separate box or anything. Now when it comes to sizing them up, you want to make sure that they're fitting from side to side of your nail tip, of your natural nail. You want to make sure that that nail tip is fitting side to side. It's always a little bit better to go too big rather than too small, and then you can file the sides. If you go too small, it will put pressure on the natural nail plate or mean that the tip will end up pinging off. Now you don't need to apply a base coat with the BTArtbox Box tips. The tips do say on the packaging that they are a primer and base coat and tip all in one. However, because of how damaged and weak my nails were feeling, especially the pointer, middle and ring finger, I wanted to come in and add a little bit of strength, and whenever I need a little bit of extra TLC to my nails, I will use the Kiki London rubber colour base system, because as well the rubber colour bases have a colour to them, so it's going to cover up some of those imperfections a little bit on my natural nails as well, and just soften them so that when we apply the tips you're not going to see them through the BTArtbox Box tips, because these particular ones I'm using, the pink nail bed area isn't super opaque, it's more of a sheer pink, so you do still see a little bit of the natural nail through them. And on those 2 nails, the pointer and the ring finger, the pointer and the middle finger, I've got a few little marks, and this would just help cover them up whilst adding a little bit of strength. So I'm going to apply this to all of the nails, and I'm not stressing when I'm applying it with the bottle brush about getting too close to the cuticles or the sidewalls, because I'm going to come in with my stripe liner nail art brush and just move this product so it's super close to the skin and the cuticles without actually touching the skin. So you want to make sure that you're getting right up close to the cuticle, creating a nice neat cuticle line but not touching any of that skin and cuticle area. Same goes for around your sidewalls. So as you can see, it's a really nice natural soft pink. Now to apply the BTArtbox Box tips, I absolutely love their solid gel glue. Please do ignore the state of the bottle. I've had this one for a while and it is a go-to for applying any kind of gel and nail tips. Same goes for this little light as well. It makes application a hell of a lot easier. Now we have already sized up our tips, so I'm coming in and applying a small ball of gel down at the cuticle area on that nail tip. You kind of need to play around a little bit to work out how much gel you need. It's going to depend on the length of your natural nails. You will see on the little finger I apply a little, too little, and I do come in and apply a little bit more, but it does take a little bit of just working out how much gel you need depending on your nail size. I would advise going in with less rather than more, as otherwise you have more cleanup to do. If you do come in with too much and it seeps out under the tip here, you can just come in with a nail art brush and a little bit of alcohol and clean away any of that excess gel. Same if it seeps out around the cuticle area. You want to try and clean up any of that gel before popping it in to cure, as it's a lot harder to remove once it has been cured. Then we're going to just press a little button on the bottom of this light and flash cure this. This is going to hold this nail in place, and then I will do a full cure in my main LED lamp once I've applied all of the nail tips. So we've done that first. Now we're going to move on and do the second one. So same, a small ball of gel down at that cuticle area, and then when it comes to placing it down onto the nail, you kind of want to place it right down at that cuticle but angle it upwards so that that gel is going to flow down your natural nail plate rather than back into the cuticle area. And because these are quite natural, you can see the gel flowing down, so you're able to see if you've got enough applied. Now I did get a little bit of seepage at that cuticle area, so again I'm using that nail art brush. I'm wiping that off before we pop it into cure. You want to try and avoid getting any product on the skin or cuticle, but sometimes it can be a little bit tricky, so just make sure to wipe it off with a little bit of alcohol before curing. You can kind of see here my nails, I have quite a short, small natural nail bed, so I don't put too much gel on there. Like I said, a little bit does go a long way, and this is a thicker consistency product, and that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love this solid gel glue from BTArt Box. Because it's a thicker consistency, it really grabs on to your natural nail plate, so you don't have to stress about the nail tips moving around or coming off whilst you're getting them in the lamp to cure. A lot of other brands gel that I've used for pressing on nail tips, it's just too thin of a consistency that it doesn't grab on and hold the nail in place. So here you'll see I apply a small amount of gel, place it down, and it's just not enough. I can see that when it comes to flowing up that natural nail plate, there wasn't enough there, so I just slid it off and applied a little bit more gel and then repeated the application again. Holding it in place when you're curing it, this is going to help make sure you don't move or knock it around. And this is what they look like once they have all been applied. Like I said though, I do then pop them in my main lamp for a full 60-second cure. This is going to make sure that they are solid and stuck down and last for however long you're going to be wearing them. These lasted on me last time when I wore them, I think it was around 2-3 weeks, and my daughter uses these all the time as well, as she loves having press on nails on but finds these a lot better. And when I do them on her, she gets a good 2 weeks out of them as well, and then she usually wants to take them off for a new set. So they last really well as long as you make sure that you're prepping correctly and applying them correctly. Now what I do here is I'm just going to come in with my buffer and buff around that cuticle area. This is going to thin it out ever so slightly, so that when these are growing up your nail, you don't have this really thick ridge. So I quite like this because it keeps them looking natural as they are growing out, especially when you've got that 2 week worth of growth there. I really hate it when you've got that thick ridge with the nail stuck on. So just by taking, first of all, the 100 grit side of the buffer, I just buff around that cuticle area, blend it in to the natural cuticle line, and then I just come over with the 180 grit side to smooth out any of the scratches that you might have put in the nail tip from buffing. But we are going to come over these with a gel top coat, which eliminates any scratches that you have put in from your buffer. If you are buffing these, obviously that is an optional step. Same with filing, you can file them to change the shape, shorten them, etc. But if you do any of those steps, just make sure you clean away all of that dust before you come in and apply your top coats. Now with the BTArt Box tips, the kit comes with 2 steps for after applying them. So your first step is a builder gel application. Now this is a thicker layer of gel, and this really enforces the strength of these gel tips. I was blown away by how well these lasted when I first tried them, because they lasted a lot longer than any other gel tips I've tried before, and I feel that's partly because you're putting this layer of builder gel over the top of them. It don't make them feel like you're wearing a press-on nail tips. It makes them feel more like you are wearing either a set of sculpted gel extensions or a builder gel set of nails. So with the builder gel, like I said, it is a thicker consistency product, so you want to apply it to the entire nail, but because it's a little bit thicker, you want to make sure that you're working it nice and evenly over the nail, covering the entire nail but making sure everything is nice and smooth. Like I said, it's a thicker consistency product, so you want to be careful that you're not applying it too thickly. And then once you have applied that builder gel layer, you want to pop this in to cure for 60 seconds in your LED lamp, and then once you've done that, you're going to come over the top and apply the BTArt Box no wipe top coat, and this is then gonna give you a really beautiful shine. Now you can purchase the BTArtbox Box tips as a kit where you get a set of the tips with the little lamp and the builder gel and the top coat. So I would recommend that as a first sort of starting point, because then that gives you everything you need. That also includes the solid glue gel that you apply the tips with as well. Then once you have that kit, you can purchase the tips on their own. So if you want different colors, different lengths, different styles, you can then add them to your collection as well, which I think is really, really great that you have the option to purchase the tips individually as well as the little kit to get you started. Now I will leave the link in the description box below to the BTArtbox Box website. I do have a discount code for them as well, which gets you 10% off. They are also available on Amazon as well, so I'll leave my link for that in the description box below too. And yeah, if you guys have any questions on the tips or application, then do pop them in the comments below. I have done a couple of videos using these now, so I'll see if I can put a little playlist together, as I'm really, really loving them. And I love that I think the French are my favorite, but I also use their cat's eye ones as well, and that was really cool because the cat's eye design was already created on the nail tip, so you didn't have to faff around with any artwork. But here we are at the end of the video. I really hope you all enjoyed watching. If you did, please do give the video a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love it if you did. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day. Lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.